We can also take the next two letters, the aleph and the shin, or the ox's head and the teeth, and combine them to be fire. So we could read that the son or heir to the throne must go through the fire to be the right hand of Yah, the authority, a picture of the suffering Messiah. Also, it can mean that the son must come first, because the son, the bar appears first, then the fire. So the son, then the fire, then the right hand of Yah, the authority, because the son had to come first, and then he had to ascend to the right hand of YAHUWAH so that he could send the fire, which made him the right hand of Yah, the authority. So it could mean that he came, then the fire came, then he's at the right hand of Yah, the authority. There's so many things it could mean. Bar can also mean purity, so it could mean that purity comes through the fire of the right hand of Yah, the authority, or that purity is the refining fire of the right hand of Yah, the authority. So many different things. I mean, I want you to take this and look at it yourself and find things in it. There's so many more things that I've found that I could produce to you, but for time's sake, we're going to try to keep this as short as possible. Let's also look at the bait, the resh, and the aleph. The bait, the resh, and the aleph can be create or creator. Then the aleph and the shin could interact together to be ash or esh. So we could have the creator of ash, which is fire or ignition or explosion. The creator of explosion is Yah, and this is a sign, because the tall can be a sign, not just authority, but a sign. So the creator of the explosion is Yah, and this is a sign. And not just Yah, but the right hand of Yah. This is going to be important later, but it's very intriguing to see that this is right in the beginning. And if this was something, if I just said something that would go against Scripture, then you would have to throw it out. But the expanding universe is a definite scientific wonder. Stephen Hawking has gone on record to say that one of the greatest things that have been discovered in the 20th century is the expanding universe. And we know that YAHUWAH said, "Let there be light," and we can look at the stars, the light that He created, and see that they are fireballs of explosion and gases. So He said, "Let there be," and there was. He said, "Let there be light." He said, "Light be," and light was, and that was an explosion that sent the heavens into expansion. And the actual reference to the expanding heavens is in the Scriptures. In Isaiah 42 verse 5, in Isaiah 45 verse 12, and in Isaiah 51 verse 13, and in Jeremiah 10 verse 12, in the Hebrew, it all appears as that YAHUWAH is stretching or expanding the heavens. Okay? A lot of scientific things right in Scripture. If only people realized that in the beginning, YAHUWAH says that the creator of the explosion is Yah. If only other people would also recognize that the house or the kingdom of YAHUWAH begins with the strength and sufficiency of the right hand of Yah, the authority. If they could all see this, maybe it would be a different world, but more than likely it wouldn't be, because really it takes the Ruach to reveal these things, the Ruach of YAHUWAH, the Spirit of YAHUWAH to reveal these things. Now let's look at Bereshith as what it literally says. Bereshith, in the beginning. Now let's look at the very first, next word in Scripture is bara. So we could have in the beginning, and then bara, which means created. So we have in the beginning created, and then we have the word that is Elohim. Now I say Elohim many times because we can break down Elohim back to the Photo-Shemitic script also, and you would have an aleph, which is the ox's head, the lamed, which is a staff, which is support. Then you have the hay, which is a man with his arms stretched out praising, which could mean praise. Then you have the yad, which takes on the yah sound. Again, I believe that yah in yad is very important. That's the reason I don't say yod or yud, because we know in the modern grammar that it is a yad, that is a picture of a hand, and it is the first letter of his name, and it does have the yah sound. So it would have the yah, and then we would have the mem, which is a picture of water, which could also mean multitude. So we could say that the strength and support comes through the praise of Yah, of the multitude, or the right hand of Yah, the multitude. And this could be Elohim. So it could be many things. There's really no, as long as everything fits in Scripture when we're looking at different letters, as long as it goes with Scripture and can be defined by 2 or 3, then it's good to go. Eloah is a word in Scripture. We know that Yah would be the Eloah, and the people or the multitude would be who he is the Eloah of. Okay, when the Eloah is the singular form of Elohim. So what we have is Bereshith in the beginning, bara, created, Elohim, and then we have et, or at. It is a word that is not translated in your scriptures, and it is comprised of the very first letter of the Hebrew text and the very last letter of the Hebrew alphabet, the Aleph and the Taw, the first and last letter of the alphabet, or Aleph Beit. Okay, the Aleph and the Taw, and it is not translated in your scriptures. And then it says Hashemayim. I want to look at the word Hashemayim because I find this very intriguing, that the word Shema, where Yahushua says that the greatest commandment is to hear, O Israel, Yahuwah, your mighty one, Yahuwah is one, and is Shema, Yisrael, Yahuwah Eloheinu, Yahuwah Echad. Shema means to hear and do. All the things in the heavens, though there were explosions, and though Yahuwah said, let light be, that they hear and do everything he says. So when he says to do it in a proper order, they do it in a proper order. That's why we have perfect orbits. That's the reason we have perfect shapes, spheres floating around in orbits in the heavens. Perfect hear and doing of Yahuwah's word. And the word Shem is also in there, which is the word, it means name in Hebrew. So we know that there is where Yahuwah has made his name known. Okay, it's very intriguing. However, we want to look at the Aleph and the Taw because it is not translated. In your scripture it says, in the beginning God created the heavens, but in the Hebrew it says, Bereshith, in the beginning. Bara, created. Elohim, Aleph Taw, and Elohim is right beside the Aleph and the Taw.